What separates people who rise from those who stay stuck? It's not luck. It's not talent. It's not even opportunity. It's habits. The choices you repeat every single day become the foundation of your life. Weak habits create a weak life. Strong habits create a life of power, success, and unshakable confidence. If you want to change your future, you don't start with dreams. You start with discipline. Everyone wants success. Everyone dreams of becoming more, doing more, achieving more. But here's the truth most people don't want to hear. It's not the big things you do once in a while that shape your life. It's the small things you do over and over again. Consistency is not glamorous, it's not flashy, and it's definitely not easy. But it is the single greatest force that separates the dreamers from the doers. Anyone can work hard for a day, but who shows up every single day, even when it's boring, even when it's uncomfortable, even when nobody is watching? That's the person who wins. Think about it. If you go to the gym once, nothing changes. If you eat clean for a week, no magic transformation happens. If you read a book today, you don't suddenly become a genius. But when you repeat those actions, day after day, month after month, year after year, that's when the breakthrough happens. Consistency is the compound interest of life. It multiplies silently, invisibly, until one day, people look at you and wonder, how did they get there? How did they build that strength, that confidence, that success? And the answer will be simple. They showed up when everyone else quit. Most people fail not because they don't have talent or potential, but because they keep starting and stopping. They want quick results. And when life doesn't deliver fast enough, they walk away. But strong habits are not built in sudden bursts of effort. They are built in the grind, in the repetition, in the choice to keep going when the excitement wears off. Consistency is not about being perfect. It's about being persistent. If you miss a day, you don't quit. You return. If you fall short, you don't punish yourself. You continue. The ones who commit to showing up, even in imperfection, are the ones who eventually master themselves. The truth is, consistency requires a mindset shift. You cannot rely on emotion to carry you through, because emotions change every day. You cannot rely on inspiration, because inspiration fades. You must decide that your actions are not negotiable. If it matters to you, it doesn't matter whether you feel tired, whether the weather is bad, whether your mood is low. You do it anyway. That decision is what builds inner strength. When you can trust yourself to follow through, you gain a confidence that no one can take away. You stop waiting for the perfect moment, and you start creating results in the real, messy, imperfect moments of life. Consistency is also a form of respect for yourself and for your goals. When you commit to something and keep breaking that commitment, you're teaching yourself that your word doesn't matter. You're teaching your mind that your goals are negotiable. But when you show up again and again, you're sending a powerful message. I keep my promises. I don't quit on myself. I am reliable. That kind of self-trust is rare, and it changes the way you carry yourself. People can sense it. Opportunities can sense it. Life rewards those who are steady, disciplined, and committed far more than those who are merely talented but inconsistent. So if you want to change your life, stop chasing intensity and start chasing consistency. Don't focus on doing everything in one giant leap. Focus on doing the small things daily. Wake up and commit to the process, not the outcome. Consistency doesn't just build habits, it builds character. It teaches you patience, discipline, and resilience. It turns effort into mastery and habits into destiny. Because in the end, the strongest life doesn't come from what you do once. It comes from what you do every single day, without fail, until it becomes who you are. Motivation feels good, doesn't it? It gives you that rush, that fire in your chest, that voice saying, "Today is the day." But here's the brutal truth: motivation is temporary. It fades the moment life gets uncomfortable. It disappears when the alarm goes off at 5 a.m. It vanishes when you're sore, tired, or facing failure. If your life depends on motivation, you'll never get far, because motivation is fickle. Discipline, on the other hand, is unshakable. Discipline doesn't ask, "Do I feel like it?" Discipline simply does. That is why discipline will always be greater than motivation. The people you admire, the ones who built incredible lives, did not rely on being motivated every day. They relied on discipline. They understood that their emotions couldn't be trusted, so they built systems and rules for themselves that made action non-negotiable. Discipline is when you drag yourself to the gym, even when your body says no. Discipline is when you write another page, make another call, push through another hour, not because you're inspired, but because you said you would. That is what builds a strong life. Doing the hard things when no one else is willing to. Motivation is like the weather. It changes daily. Sometimes it's sunny, sometimes it storms. But discipline is like the ground beneath your feet. It doesn't move. When you build discipline, you no longer rely on fleeting feelings to carry you. You become anchored. You know exactly what must be done. And you do it, regardless of mood. That's why disciplined people achieve their goals, while others just talk about them. The difference isn't desire, it's execution. Discipline is the bridge between wanting and having, between dreaming and living. Every time you choose discipline, you are training your mind. You're teaching yourself that you are in control, not your laziness, not your cravings, not your doubts. Each act of discipline strengthens your willpower like a muscle. And the more you practice it, the stronger it gets. Motivation is easy. You wait for it and ride the wave. Discipline is hard. You create it when nothing else exists. That's why disciplined people are rare, but they are also the ones who rise above because they do what others refuse to do. There will always be days when you don't want to work, don't want to study, don't want to keep going. Most people give in to that feeling, and that's why they stay average. But those who build discipline rise on those very days. They take the resistance and use it as fuel. They know that if you only work when you feel good, you'll never become great. Greatness is born in discomfort. Greatness is built in the days you wanted to quit, but didn't. Discipline is the proof that you don't bow to weakness. You conquer it. When you choose discipline over motivation, you unlock freedom. Freedom from procrastination, freedom from inconsistency, freedom from the roller coaster of emotions that keep most people stuck. Discipline gives you control over your life, your habits, and your destiny. It's not glamorous, it's not easy, but it is powerful beyond measure. And once you experience the strength that comes from doing what must be done, especially when you don't feel like it, you realize that discipline is not punishment. Discipline is the ultimate form of self-respect. Everybody wants the big breakthrough, the overnight success, the dramatic transformation that changes everything at once. But the truth is, life doesn't work like that. Success is not a single giant leap. It's a staircase built one small step at a time. Small wins are the hidden secret behind every great achievement. The problem is, most people overlook them. They think small actions don't matter, so they dismiss them. But the truth is, the small things you do daily carry more power than the big things you do occasionally. Those small wins, repeated consistently, will build a foundation so strong that no obstacle can shake it. Think about how compound interest works. You put in a little money consistently, and over time, it grows into something massive. Habits work the exact same way. 10 minutes of reading a day may not feel like much, but in a year, that's 365 opportunities to grow your mind. Writing 1 page a day may feel insignificant, but in a year, you've written an entire book. Running a mile may feel small compared to a marathon, but add those miles up, and soon your body and mind are unrecognizable. The big transformation you're chasing is hidden inside the tiny actions you ignore. The challenge is that small wins don't give you instant gratification. They don't feel dramatic enough to satisfy your craving for progress. That's why so many people quit before they see results. They go to the gym for a week, don't see abs in the mirror and stop. They save money for a month, don't become wealthy overnight, and give up. But transformation is slow, subtle, and silent. Small wins are invisible at first, but then one day, the results appear and everyone calls it an overnight success. What they don't see are the countless small wins that built the foundation. Every small win builds momentum. It teaches your brain that progress is possible, and progress creates energy. When you keep winning on a small scale, you build the confidence to tackle bigger challenges. Small wins rewire your identity. If you read a little every day, eventually, you begin to see yourself as a reader, a learner, a thinker. If you exercise consistently, you start to identify as an athlete, as someone who takes care of their health. Identity is shaped by repetition, and repetition is powered by small wins. The truth is, small wins are also protection against failure. When you aim only for massive results, failure feels devastating. But when you commit to small, daily progress, failure becomes just another part of the journey. Missed one workout? No problem. Get back tomorrow. Skipped a page of writing? Do 2 the next day. Small wins are forgiving. They give you room to fall and rise again, without losing momentum. They keep you grounded, steady, and focused on the long game instead of chasing shortcuts that don't last. If you want big transformation in your life, stop asking, "What giant move can I make today?" and start asking, "What small step can I take and repeat tomorrow?" The strongest habits are built in silence, brick by brick, action by action. The people who change their lives are not the ones who wait for massive opportunities. They are the ones who create small victories daily. When you honor the power of small wins, you build a momentum so strong that it becomes impossible to stop you. That's how transformation begins. Not with a single leap, but with steady, unshakable steps toward greatness. Look around you right now. The people, the conversations, the energy, the space you live and work in. Whether you realize it or not, it is shaping you. Your environment is either feeding your growth or draining your potential. You cannot expect to build strong habits inside a weak environment. If you surround yourself with distraction, negativity, and chaos, don't be surprised when you lose focus, lose discipline, and lose yourself. But when you build an environment that supports your growth, when you carefully design the space and the people you allow into your life, you create a foundation where strong habits can thrive. Think of it like planting a seed. Even the strongest seed cannot grow in poisoned soil. If the ground is toxic, the seed dies before it has a chance to sprout. Your environment is your soil. You can have the best intentions, the strongest vision, the most powerful goals, But if your environment is toxic, your growth will suffocate. That's why protecting your environment is not optional. It's essential. It's not about luck or fate. It's about planting yourself in a place where growth is possible, where your energy is protected, where your focus is sharpened. So many people fail not because they lack ability, but because they refuse to leave environments. Destroy them. They stay surrounded by people who belittle their dreams, who gossip instead of grow, who settle instead of strive. They keep habits in their space that distract instead of build. Cluttered rooms, endless scrolling, meaningless conversations. What they don't realize is that environment beats willpower every time. If you're constantly fighting against your surroundings, eventually you will lose. The strongest strategy is to create an environment that doesn't require constant resistance, but instead pulls you toward your goals naturally. Imagine waking up every day in a space that reflects your vision, a clean room that invites clarity, a desk that's free from distractions, a phone that doesn't drown you in notifications, and people in your circle who challenge you to rise higher instead of pulling you down. That environment doesn't just make discipline easier, it makes it inevitable. When you surround yourself with people who train hard, you will train harder. When you surround yourself with thinkers, you will think bigger. Your environment sets the standard, and you will always rise or fall to meet it. Protecting your environment also means setting boundaries. Boundaries with people, with habits, with distractions. You don't have to allow everyone access to your energy. You don't have to answer every call, attend every event, or participate in every conversation. Strong lives are built by people who value their space and protect their time like it's sacred. Because it is. Every time you allow negativity into your environment, it chips away at your focus. Every time you allow clutter into your life, it clouds your mind. Protecting your environment is an act of self-respect, a declaration that your growth matters too much to be compromised. When you take control of your environment, you take control of your future. Because no matter how strong your will is, no matter how powerful your dreams are, if you stay in a toxic environment, you will be pulled back. But when you build an environment of discipline, of growth, of focus, success becomes the natural outcome. Your habits don't have to fight against resistance every day. They flow in alignment with the space you've created. Protecting your environment is not about shutting the world out. It's about building a world that lifts you higher. That is how strong habits are sustained, and that is how strong lives are built. We live in a world that glorifies action. Do more, hustle harder, keep moving, keep grinding. And yes, action matters. But here's what most people miss. Without reflection, action is blind. You can run faster than everyone else. But if you're running in the wrong direction, speed means nothing. Self-reflection is the habit that ensures your energy, your time, and your effort are aligned with where you actually want to go. It's not about slowing down. It's about sharpening your path. Because the most dangerous thing is not working too little. It's working endlessly on the wrong things. Reflection is where clarity lives. It's in those moments when you pause and ask yourself the hard questions. Am I living according to my values? Are my habits today building the future I want tomorrow? Am I moving closer to my dreams, or am I drifting further away? Without these questions, you risk living someone else's life, chasing goals that don't fulfill you, following habits that keep you busy but not effective. Reflection gives you the power to course correct before years slip away. It's the mirror that doesn't lie. It shows you the truth, even when the truth is uncomfortable. Self-reflection is not weakness, it's strength. It takes courage to face yourself honestly. Most people avoid it because they're afraid of what they'll find. They don't want to admit that their habits are holding them back, that their excuses are stealing their potential, that their comfort zone is suffocating them. But until you confront the truth, you cannot change it. Reflection is not about judgment. It's about awareness. And awareness is power. You cannot fix what you refuse to see. But the moment you see it clearly, you regain control. When reflection becomes a habit, you begin to live intentionally. Instead of reacting to life, you respond with purpose. Each decision is guided by a deeper understanding of who you are and where you're going. You stop moving blindly and start moving with precision. Think about the difference between shooting arrows in the dark versus aiming with a clear target. That's the difference reflection makes. It takes your energy and focuses it like a laser, making every action count, every habit meaningful. Reflection also fuels gratitude and growth. When you look back on your day, your week, your year, you begin to recognize not just where you fell short, but also where you've grown. You see the progress that might have gone unnoticed. You start to value the journey instead of only obsessing over the destination. That awareness gives you strength because you realize you're not the same person you were yesterday. You're building, you're evolving, and you're moving forward. That sense of progress is one of the most powerful motivators in existence. And the beauty of self-reflection is that it doesn't require hours of time or elaborate rituals. It can be as simple as 5 minutes at night, asking yourself, what did I do well today? What can I do better tomorrow? Am I still aligned with the life I want to live? These small moments of honesty stack up. Just like any habit, they keep you accountable. They keep you sharp. They keep you awake in a world where most people are sleepwalking through their own lives. Self-reflection is not about looking back with regret. It's about looking forward with wisdom. And when you make it a daily habit, you transform not only what you do, but who you become. Life will test you. Not once, not twice, but again and again. It will hit you when you least expect it. It will knock the air out of your lungs, crush your plans, and make you question whether you're strong enough to keep going. Most people break under that pressure. They see failure as the end. They see pain as punishment. They see setbacks as proof that they aren't meant for greatness. But the strongest among us know the truth. Resilience is not about avoiding pain. It's about using pain as power. The habit of resilience is built when you face the storm and rise, every single time, no matter how many times you fall. Resilience is the most underrated habit of all. Because it doesn't look glamorous. It doesn't look like success. It looks like tears in the dark, like starting over at zero, like swallowing your pride and standing up when everything in you screams to stay down. But this is where strength is born. Not in the easy wins, not in the smooth seasons, but in the battles you fight when no one believes in you. The habit of resilience is forged in fire. Every scar you carry is proof that you didn't quit. Every failure you survived is evidence that you're still standing. That persistence is what separates the extraordinary from the ordinary. Most people think resilience is a personality trait, something you're either born with or not. But resilience is a habit, a choice you make every day. Every time life hits you, you have two options: break or rebuild. Give in or get up. Stay down or rise again. And every time you choose to rise, you are training your mind to be stronger than your circumstances. You are teaching yourself that nothing outside of you has the power to control what happens inside of you. That habit becomes your greatest weapon, because once you master resilience, nothing can destroy you completely. Failure is not your enemy. Quitting is. Resilience means you see failure not as a wall but as a stepping stone. It means when doors close, you look for windows. It means when you fall 7 times, you rise 8. Resilience doesn't guarantee that you'll never struggle. It guarantees that you'll never stay broken. The people who achieve greatness are not the ones who never fail. They are the ones who refuse to let failure have the final say. They rise so many times that eventually, life has no choice but to let them win. The habit of resilience also transforms how you see challenges. Instead of fearing difficulties, you begin to welcome them. Because every obstacle becomes training. Every hardship becomes proof of your strength. Every setback becomes preparation for the bigger battles ahead. Resilient people don't run from difficulty. They run toward it, knowing that each test makes them sharper, tougher, and more unbreakable. And when life sees that it cannot crush you, it begins to work for you instead of against you. That's the gift of resilience, the power to turn adversity into advantage. And resilience is not just about surviving, it's about thriving. It's about saying, yes, I was knocked down, but I came back stronger. Yes, I lost, but I learned. Yes, I was broken, but I rebuilt into something even greater. Resilience transforms scars into strength, wounds into wisdom, losses into lessons. The habit of resilience means you don't just endure life, you conquer it. Because no matter how heavy the burden, no matter how deep the pain, you carry within you the unshakable power to rise again. That is what makes you unstoppable. Strong habits are not just routines. They are the architecture of your life. They shape your thoughts, your actions, your identity, and ultimately your destiny. Weak habits will quietly destroy you. Strong habits will quietly build you. And the choice is always yours. Every day, you are casting votes for the kind of life you want to live. Every action is a brick laid in the foundation of your future. The question is, are you building a fortress of strength, or are you digging a grave of regret? Stop waiting for luck. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for someone to save you. No one is coming. It's you. It has always been you. Your habits are your rescue plan, your weapon, your path to greatness. Strong habits create strong lives, and strong lives create unshakable legacies. If you want change, build it. If you want strength, practice it. If you want freedom, earn it. Your habits will decide who you become, and who you become will decide everything. So ask yourself, right now, are your habits leading you toward the life you desire, or the life you fear? Because the answer to that question will define not just your days, but your entire destiny. Choose strong habits. Choose a strong life.